Backtesting is extremely important and it separates the good traders from the bad traders. So I'm going to go through this past week's price action and backtest my strategy, and I'm going to assume that I executed everything perfectly. That way I have a baseline of, hey, this is actually the best possible outcome, and that way I can compare it to how I did, and I will see more areas for improvement and will actually solidify my strategy in my mind so I have more confidence for this upcoming week. If you're new here, my name's Vijay. I'm on the path of becoming a consistently profitable day trader, and I'm sharing my progress, my journey with all of you. So if you want to follow along, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and let's jump into it. There are three different parts for this. One is the actual backtesting, looking at TradingView, looking at the charts. The second are the screenshots, which we're going to put into OneNote. And the third is tracking it on a spreadsheet, which I'll link in the description so you guys can do it yourself. So that way all the numbers are there to make you feel good. So first, let's look at OneNote and set that up. Since I'm backtesting, I want to write down my criteria so I know what I need to look for before I can even log it in here. So first thing I need to see here is that price approaches a higher time frame PD array, and for me higher time frame is 1 hour or higher. And then on the 1 minute I need to see a sweep of liquidity, and then there needs to be a displacement candle that indicates a break of structure. And then I have 4 different ways I can enter on, and I'm going to backtest all 4 of these just so I can kind of see, hey, what are the best possible trades. So I can enter on a fair value gap, an order block, a breaker block, or a mitigation block. So today's August 26th, so we're only going to look at this past week, and that way we could see what actually happened since it's more fresh in our minds, and that way we can figure out where we can improve our trading strategy. I know actual backtesting you should go months and months before, but I'm just going to look at this past week, and that way I can make it a habit to backtest on a rolling basis going forward. This is 4 a.m. Let's script forward to 8:30. So what I see here is that there is a fair value gap, and there are relative equal highs here. So let's move forward the next hour. So basically during this hour, price came into this fair value gap. So let's dive deeper into this to the 1 minute chart. So here you could see that price came down, but there was no entry model for me, as in there was some liquidity here, it swept it, but it did not come back for me to enter long here. Okay, now let's go to the 1 hour again. So now we have to wait. So now we hit next, and the 10 o'clock candle was bearish. So let's see what happened here, see if there's anything here we could have taken advantage of. Price swept liquidity on the 15 minute. Okay, that's a good sign. That is step 1. On the 5 minute, it swept it. There was a break of structure. And then here's the same thing on the 1 minute. So let's see if there are any entry models we could use. So yes, swept, broke structure. So 2 parts. There's a fair value gap. There was no entry here. There is an order block, and right here still there was no entry. There is a breaker block here, still no entry. And so all this means is there was no entry here. So what I do is I would screenshot this and put it in OneNote. Trade 1, no fill, no entry model. And then I'd screenshot it. The reason why I like doing this is that way I don't have FOMO, as in, hey, you're not going to get entered, you're not going to get filled into every single model just because most of the criteria gets hit. If not all of them is going to show up all the time, that's okay. And by doing this, especially the no fills, it gets rid of FOMO in my opinion, because you know that, hey, not every time you're going to get filled. Good. So it came down here, price continues going lower. So just kind of broke right through here. So there weren't going to be any good entry models here, but let's go check anyways. So here on the 1 minute, it looks like price did kind of take it out, but the bullish displacement wasn't really that aggressive to go above the swing high. So it did break structure, but this wasn't exactly the highest quality trade. So this is not something that we should be taking anyways. I mean, the main reason why this would not work is because if you look at the price, it came and it stopped right at the mean threshold and it didn't really displace above it. If it closed above this, that would be ideal setup, but it did not, so that would signify some more bearish presence. Okay, well, let's continue. Say price swept out liquidity here on the 1 hour and went up. So let's see what happened over the last hour. Let's see if there was any entry models that we could have used. So right here, price kind of swept liquidity, not really. Price came into this order block, but I don't know, this whole thing just looks extremely messy, and that's probably why I got tripped up. Hindsight, this is just not a good entry here either. So yeah, we do miss out on this major run, but there's nothing here that screams, hey, this is a solid entry. There is a 3 drives pattern, but that's not exactly part of my outline for this back test, so I'm not going to use that. Okay, let's continue. So next candle goes up, stops right here at the mean threshold. Let's see if there's any bearish opportunities. So there is a big break of structure right here, and there is an order block block. I think this might be a potentially good entry right here on this order block and a gap. And I stop right up here and then target 2R at least. So somewhere right here, only because there's an order block. So we'll see if we get filled. And we did not. It's also 4 o'clock, so market, nothing was going to happen. So I'd go ahead, screenshot this as well, go back to your journal, trade 2, no fill. So that was the end of the day. I mean, in real life, I took 4 trades and they were all pretty trash and I lost all 4 trades. It's because even with back testing, I'm not even following my rules. Yeah, so that's kind of the issue. Okay, let's go to the next day. So we got 8, 9 o'clock here. So let's see. Price comes, takes out liquidity on the 1 hour. So let's zoom in here, see what happened. See price coming to this order block. 5 minutes, let's see what's happening on the 1 minute. Is there an entry model here? So price just came down. It didn't really sweep liquidity, it just came down, rejected off. Or yeah, it did. There is some liquidity right here. It did sweep it. Good, so once we come in here, we don't really see a displacement. There's no break of structure. There is right here, and then here is the actual entry. There's break of structure. The market goes up here. The bullish order block actually right here could be an entry. We'll put a stop right here and then we can target the CE of this wick. So we go ahead, we screenshot that, then we type in trade 3, win. I could have also just brought down here to the first order block. I guess that's like more realistic, but I could also just target some of these highs, get the CE of this wick. So either way it works, but since I'm following my first easy target, this is where I would actually take it. So it'd be a 2R trade. I would write trade 3 win, screenshot it in here. And then this is when we'd come into the spreadsheet. So we type in the date, the trade session, what position we're in, where we entered, our stop loss, exit. This will auto fill in. Entry to exit ticks will also fill in automatically. And then right here is probably the only thing you have to change. There's a 12.5. This is basically the value per tick for the ES. If you're trading a different contract, you might just need to change this and change it right here, and then we're done. And then it shows you your risk reward. And then the trade type, you want to make sure that in the strategy classifications, basically type out the different strategies that you want, and you would just type that one here. And then from the analysis tab, it literally shows you, hey, here's a P&L you made, the average P&L, average winner, average loser, and we only have 1 entry here, but it'll show you the number of wins, losses, and the win percentage. Good, now let's continue. Just keeps dropping lower. So right here, there was a reaction. So let's see if there was an entry model here in this fair value gap on the 1 hour. So we're going to the 1 minute. So I do see a candle here, it goes up. There's a break of structure right here through this candle, and it goes up here. I probably would not enter into it just because it's not the ideal setup. Price does come down into here, into this fair value gap, and this could have been a potential entry, but it's just not as clean as I would have liked it, so I'm not doing that. Here, looking at this, so just hitting next on the hourly, still nothing here I would want to trade, and the day is over. So it looks like on Tuesday there was just 1 trade and we took it, and it was still not even that great of a trade, honestly. It's there was a market structure shift, and then I see some displacement, and there was an order block to enter in on. So still not a great trade. I still don't even know if I'd consider it in here, but this is probably why I lost a ton of money on Tuesday, because this was just a trading environment. Okay, on Wednesday, price came down here at 8 o'clock, swept some liquidity, or just hit, barely made it down here. So let's see what happened here. Create some relative equal lows here, which is not necessarily a good trade. So we don't do anything yet until this gets swept. And look at that. So there's no trading opportunities here. There was this candle right at 9. So there is a break of structure, but liquidity was not swept. So this would not be a good entry. Okay, so right here, price took out liquidity. Let's see if there was an entry model in here, which could have given us a negative result. So basically we'd be looking for some bearish displacement. I don't see any type of bearish displacement here that would signify a reversal. So yeah, once we're right here at this 1 hour and we don't see any bearish price action, then good. Means we're likely not going to go lower, and by just following our rules, we're not getting burned by entering in out of FOMO. Good. So basically there were no trades here on Wednesday either, and this was the 3rd day I hit my maximum stop loss because I was forcing trades that just weren't here. I mean, none of these setups are clean. Even on Tuesday, I'm looking at it, still not that clean. So that is what happened on Thursday. Sorry, that's what happened on Wednesday. On Thursday, take a look right here. Price came right to the CE of this wick on the 1 hour. So let's actually see what happened, see if there were any shorting opportunities here. And this was actually all happening before, you know, during London sessions. I was asleep, so I would have not participated. Normally I don't look for trades until about 8:30 or so that's the earliest I would trade. So this is what happened by 9 o'clock. Let's see what happened on the 1 minute. So what I need to see is a sweep of liquidity before I could enter, and I did not see that. Well, actually, here we are. This is some sweep. There's still some more liquidity here, but let's see. Let's just say it is it. There's some displacement, and then there's a fair value gap and a order block. Let's see if we can get short here, and then we target these lows. And we missed a fill by 1 tick, actually. Didn't go in there. Let's see. Yep, that's exactly, I think, what happened in real life. I think I tried to enter into this short, and I don't think I got filled. I think I did this exact same thing. So we go ahead, we screenshot this, and we put it in. Trade for no fill. Okay, so this is the lunch macro area. On the 1 hour, we do see that price came here to this order block, and it did reject, it did go up. So if you look at the 1 minute, and I did take this trade, and this was actually my only profitable trade of the week, Thursday. So I do see that there was some liquidity right here, got swept. There is a break of structure, and then there is a down close candle. So there is this order block right here where I should have entered in on, but I realized that's actually to the tick, and so I may have not gotten filled on it. But there is a gap right here I could probably use. We put a stop here, and then I'm targeting this right here, the order block on the 1 minute. And I did take this trade, just my entry was a little trash, but this was a trade I actually took. So we go ahead, we screenshot that, we put it in, trade 5 as a win, put in the date, trade session. This was a long, put all this in, come here, P&L minus 14,000. You know, it's sometimes you gotta type in the numbers right. There we go. And this would have been best case scenario. I remember I only made about 300 bucks that trade, so I didn't miss an entire handle because I used a more market order to enter instead of a limit. Come to this analysis, and it shows you how this trade did. Okay, and that's pretty much the end of this day. So I mean, I wasn't able to participate in a lot of this, but I did participate in this right here, the 1 hour, the little lunch macro. Okay, so what we have here is Friday, and I did not trade Friday because it was Jackson Hole, but I did notice some good price action at the end of the day. So I mean, this is why I didn't trade, because of this kind of stuff. But I did notice the PM session looked like a potentially good trading opportunity, so I'm gonna go there. Okay, so we are in the 1 minute right here. Liquidity got taken, came here, broke a structure right underneath here, so this is a good sign. There is an order block right here. I would like to get short here, and there's a fair value gap here too, so let's see if we would get tagged in here or not. Put a stop above the highs, and then I want to target this liquidity right here. So let's see what happens. Good, we'd get in. Perfect, literally hits it perfectly. So of course you gotta screenshot it. Trade 6, type in win 1 to 4 p.m. This was a short, entered at 44.24. We put our stop at 44.29, and then we take profit at 44.1450. Perfect. So I actually added a new category here. This is with fair value gap plus order block, and that is what I tagged in right here. And that was pretty much the end of the back testing. I mean, this makes sense, right? Why was this week so difficult? Because even while going back through the charts, there just were not good trading opportunities, and I was forcing trades, and so hopefully this upcoming week is better. I noticed that last trade, which I showed you on Friday, which I didn't participate in, that was actually like a picture perfect trade. So took out liquidity, there was displacement, and I was able to enter in on a fair value gap and order block. So that was a good trade. I need to see more of those, and as the weeks go by, I'm going to be adding to this backtest tracker, and I'm going to share it with you. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It will really help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want access to the spreadsheet, I'm going to link it below, and I may be updating it as time goes on, so you guys can take a look at that. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great day.